Hey guys, welcome back to the English Gentleman Gamer with me, Roscoe. Here's a commentary on Oasis on Bad Company 2. A defence from, I think it was Sunday or Monday I did this. I can't quite remember. It was a bit one-sided. There wasn't as many of them as there were us. I thought we should have stopped this one. I didn't realise that guy was on their bloody team. Bastard. But anyway, I still find it easier to put the Bad Company 2 disc in my PS3 than the Battlefield 3 disc these days, I have to confess. I keep labouring this point, but I do prefer the relative simplicity of this game, and I just prefer it generally. I don't know whether it's because I always seem or feel that I do better in this than I do in Battlefield 3. I don't know. It's just more suited to the way I like to play first-person shooters. I don't know, but I just prefer this game personally. Anyway, this is the final MCOMs now. I literally, the beginning of the video is where I joined, so there's another 19 minutes or thereabouts of us defending these two MCOMs. I don't think they get any of them. I can't quite remember. By this point I've put my mines down. I like to get my mines down. Sorry, I'm just moving in my chair there. Yeah, I always like to get mines down. I don't particularly like this gun. It's AKS-74U or whatever it is. It's not my favourite gun in this game, but it is the one I've got the most kills with, mainly because certainly in Rush I find the engineer kit the most useful one. You're forced to have the repair tool anyway, so that's obviously good at repairing your colleagues' vehicles. And you have the mines or the rocket launchers. I prefer the mines, to be honest, than the rocket launchers. The rocket launchers are fun, don't get me wrong. I think there's a guy trying to sneak up in here. The rocket launchers are fun, and if you score a good kill with it, it's very satisfying, but they're not. The mines are better in my opinion because, you know, I've put 3 down, and even when I die, the mines still stay there. So I personally find them more useful. This guy was quite. I thought I would get a kill on this guy. I mean, he had the brains to hide from me, but I didn't realise that guy was quite where he was. So there we go. I'll get a critical kill assist. Now the problem with this gun emplacement is very useful in as much as, you know, I tried spotting these guys up here and I couldn't spot them. Shows how many kills I've got though. I do get a little gold star there. Or is it bronze? I don't know. Oh, gold star. It's very useful because it covers both MCOMs, and it's, you know, it's got a beast rate of fire. It's got a lot of damage. The downside is you're exceptionally wide open to snipers. I'm sometimes reluctant to go in them, especially the ones that don't have the face guard things on them, because they're so bloody easy for a sniper from halfway across the map to pick you off. I didn't go for the disarm there because the guys had already got there before me, so I decided to try and flush out or get rid of any bastards who were camping, hiding around the corner or whatever at that particular point. I'm not sure what I was doing. The guys and the opposing team tended to come down our right, on my right as now as we're looking at it. This guy was in a bit of a suicide mission there. Excuse me, slurp of tea. I don't know why he bothered. There you go. It's only 6 on 5, so the cards are stacked in our favour, but, you know, they've managed to get this far. You could argue that it was my intervention that saved the day. I don't know. I was the only difference, I think. So they didn't. I'm trying not to tell you what happened in the end, but the only difference was me. I was the only person who joined the match after those MCOMs went. So I don't know. By this point, you know, it's a bit. You've got to try and flush them out, I think, on this bit. If you sit and wait, it gets quite boring. I can't. Personally, I find it difficult to sit in the same place and wait for the enemy to turn up, and I find it annoying as an attacker that they would do the same. So I decided to try and. I saw him on the minimap there, so there we go. I've got quite a good little kill thing going here. Well, they get 3 kills in that one. That one tank. Yeah, I try and push forward a little bit and flush them out, or at least be able to spot them sneaking past. They didn't really use our left very much. There's a boat you can actually take from the spawn point as an attacker for these MCOMs, and get all the way down our left, which I only think they used a couple of times. They tended to try and get down this right hand side most of the match, because it was quite a long defence on this, because there wasn't that many people playing it. It took quite a while for us to whittle down their numbers. Although someone shot me there. I never found out who it was. He never came to look for me, but they must have used the boat on this occasion, because they were all fairly round the back of our spawn area at this point. I'm not quite sure what I was doing trying to go up here, to tell you the truth. I think I was trying to see if there's a window out back, which there obviously isn't. I'm still enjoying Bad Company 2. There was a stage I got to during the sort of just before the beta for BF3 came out that it was a little bit boring. It was made more enjoyable by the fact that I was able to play with people that I enjoyed playing with. 7 on 6 now. Yeah, it was enjoyable for the fact that most of the time I was playing with people, my sort of friends on PSN, not just British people. There's a couple of French lads who I used to play with quite a lot, and it, helped sort of pass the time basically. Certainly on the occasions where your team was getting a fucking hammering, which no matter what game you're playing is never enjoyable. I thought there was someone moving there. It turns out it was some sort of flag or piece of clothing attached to the top of an antenna. I've definitely reached a stage where I'm in Battlefield 3. Actually, the last time I played it, I played Rush Mode on Aftermath, and I quite enjoyed it. The maps, there we go. That's the reason why I don't try and loiter on the gun emplacements, because it's quite an easy kill for someone. Yeah, I was playing Aftermath, Rush Mode, and I quite enjoyed it. The maps are quite small, you're not running forever between MCOMs. I haven't really tried Rush Mode on Endgame, to tell you the truth. Every time I do it, I end up playing that Operation Riverside. I can't remember. I think once I've played Sabalan Pipeline. This fucking twat spotted me. Yeah, I've once played Sabalan Pipeline, whatever it's called, on Rush Mode, that I can remember. And that was a long time ago. And I do seem to remember it was actually quite good. Our team wasn't doing particularly well. I mean, we were getting down to the proper single digits before we were getting MCOMs armed and stuff like that. So the other team were running our tickets down quite quickly. But I remember at one point there was a couple of armoured vehicles on theirs defending one particular MCOM, and I decided to properly run around the edge of the map, as far down like the right hand side as I could, right down to the bottom, behind the MCOMs, and I just waited, and the rest of my squad joined in, and we were able to, I'd like to say we put a lot of fire down on them. I don't think we were particularly accurate, but we certainly served as a distraction, and we got the MCOM, and that sort of manoeuvre, or whatever you want to call it, was relatively entertaining. The only objective I got left is I've still not come in the top 5 in Gunmaster, believe it or not. I've only ever actually played about 30 rounds of Gunmaster. I don't and haven't been able to play a lot of Battlefield 3, not as much as I played Bad Company 2 for some reason. And like I say, it fucks me off now when I go on the European Rush ones, and it's just Operation Metro, Grand Bazaar, Carg Island, and no one seems to be that arsed about playing anything else. Trying to play anything other than those maps in Rush Mode is quite difficult. I mean, there was a video I put on recently, well, I say recently, in the last month or so. I went on Tehran Highway, which I normally quite enjoy, and we were attacking, and it was just bollocks from the word go. I mean, we had fucking well in the 300 odd tickets or something stupid when I joined, and we didn't win, and it was just crap from the word go. There was faggots camping in fucking tanks and all sorts of shit, and they were spawn raping us, and it was just an appalling mess basically. So that pissed me off for a while, and I just sat there thinking, why am I fucking slogging? Oh, they did get that one armed in the end. Sitting there thinking, why am I fucking slogging away, getting fucking hammered? And I think I went something daft like 3 and 18. I thought, I'm having no fun, so why bother playing it? So that's why I don't really go on it very often. I do like close quarters, the Conquest Domination, I like that much more than I prefer. I mean, I've never been a fan of Conquest. I think the number of Conquest videos I've done, you can count on the fingers on one hand. But yeah, I like. And there's another one I was going to say then. Oh yeah, I got out of the way that tank there. I decided to try and pick. The reason why I was loitering around here now as an engineer was because I didn't see that this fucking guy was quite lucky. I got a couple of hit markers on him, and he got me. He comes back for me in a second. I usually try and pick off people repairing tanks if I can. That's generally why I go towards or try and get around the back of the tanks. Yeah, the close quarters domination I like. I do like capture the flag, although again, like any game mode really, you need balanced teams regardless of how many people are actually in it. If you've got one team who are very, very good, and you're on a team full of either people who aren't trying or people who just want to sit at the back with a sniper rifle and improve the kill-death ratio, it's about as much fun as watching paint dry. So again, that's what I would play if I went on it. But anyway, moving on, I switched to my preferred weapon on this game. I I nearly always forget at first when I start using this weapon, even if I use it on Battlefield 3, which I have started doing recently, because I got a bit bored of that M416. And the assault kit came more useful in my opinion, with the ability to drop health rather than ammunition. I should have got that guy really. He got me with a fucking pistol as well. That's what pissed me off. Losing to a fucking pistol with a machine gun really annoys me. But yeah, I always forget that it's a burst fire weapon at first, so I sit there holding R1 thinking, why the fuck's it not shooting? Then I realise that it's a burst fire weapon and it doesn't do that. But once I remember that, and you get into the old tap firing routine, it's a very, very good weapon in my opinion. Probably, in my humble opinion, probably the one weapon I would pick over anything else in Bad Company 2. Only because it's got, if you do the tap firing, you can actually, there we are, got that fucking Humvee right in the air then. That's quite a good explosion, that. Once you get your head around the tap firing routine, it is actually, you can fire quite quickly. It's got an alright magazine size, 30 rounds, and it's it's got, it's powerful because it's a burst fire weapon. It's powerful, and it also hits at a very good long range. I mean, none of the weapons in this game, certainly anything other than an LMG, all the submachine guns and assault rifles don't tend to have massive amounts of recoil anyway. It's one of my personal gripes with Battlefield 3. I remember I've got something like 1,500 kills on the AK-74U on Bad Company 2, which is a lot for me. It's not a lot by most people's standards, but for me, it's the gun I used virtually exclusively for a while. And it's got virtually no recoil on it, even on full chat. There's hardly anything. Your aiming sight thing, whatever you want to call it, doesn't bounce around very much. And same on this one. If you tap firing on this bad boy, you can, even at distance, you can keep the red dot on the enemy quite easily. Whereas one of my personal gripes with Battlefield 3 is the fucking, especially on the beta when I unlocked that AK-74U, Jesus wept, that thing was bouncing around for fun, and I've never really got used to it, to tell you the truth. The reason why I go for the burst fire weapons on Battlefield 3 is because the recoil's less than it is on the automatic weapons, but I've never really been happy with it, to tell you the truth. But anyway, Battlefield 4 rather, is around the corner. Sorry, someone one sec. The Battlefield 4 beta is looming. I mean, DICE had initially said that us premium members wouldn't necessarily be getting into the beta, which I didn't believe at the time. And it turns out it's true, we are guaranteed to get into the beta for Battlefield 4. Which is going to have to do something special to persuade me to buy it, I'll be honest. I am going to buy it eventually, but I certainly won't be buying it day one, and I certainly won't be putting my money down straight away on the premium bollocks. Having said that, I'm kind of glad that I did on Battlefield 3, because I suspect I would have ended up buying all the expansions anyway, and it does save you a bit of money. I was a bit annoyed that I got back to Karkand free anyway for buying the limited edition. I was quite happy with this shot. He landed up and took him out. Even got a headshot on the dude. I would have ended up buying all it. The only expansion, looking at it, what I actually thought was a bit ropey was Close Quarters. I thought, God, this is like watching Call of Duty, but it turned out to be one of my favourites. The only one I really hated was Armoured Kill, and I suspected it would be crap. When I saw the trailer, I thought, if a fucking tank, if tank fighting with a helicopter flying over you is the most exciting thing they can do for the video, the trailer, then it's going to be in trouble, this. And I was right. And I can't think of anyone who lists Armoured Kill as their favourite expansion. Another quite good shot there. See, I don't think you'd be able to do that with an assault rifle quite as easily as like a fully automatic one. But I've been the best shot in this game anyway. But Battlefield 4 is looming. The beta, what do they reckon? When was it last time? Was it sort of September, October for a game coming out in November? I can't remember. So what, we're in June now, so June, July, August, September, maybe 3 months to see the beta. I'm not expecting anything special, particularly on the PS3. And another thing that pissed me off about Battlefield 3 was it played worse than this. This game came out in 2010, I mean I got it in 2011 and I was quite late to the party, although I was very lucky that EA UK were kind enough to give me a free VIP thing for it. Because what happened was I bought a limited edition version of it second hand. And obviously the VIP code had already been used. Fair enough, I had no problem with that. So I ended up emailing EA UK asking them if there's any way to stop it fucking asking me for the VIP code every time I put the game in. I think the guy kind of misinterpreted what I was implying on the email, and he gave me a code, which I never asked for. I just asked him how to switch it off. Anyway, he sent me this code, I tried it, it worked, but it still kept asking me to put it in all the time, even though if I ignored it, it still registered that I'd done it. I tried marking that guy, that's what I was actually spotting rather than shooting them. Excuse me. And in the end, he manually overrode it for me, so I was very impressed with that. He actually gave me something for free there. But anyway, Battlefield Bad Company 2 has consistently, in my opinion, played much better than Battlefield 3 did. Battlefield 3 on the PS3 was, sometimes it was unplayable. I mean, the server issues. Why I didn't shoot this fucking guy down here first, it's beyond me. You know, there was issues with the guns. The number of times that game was frozen on me as well and locked up my PS3 is unreal. This game is, I mean, I think I've been kicked off the server on this game maybe 2 or 3 times. Nice one there, Ross, running down a dead end. 2 or 3 times in the 2 years that I've owned it. And Battlefield 3, guarantee at least, you know, if I'm on there for more than half an hour, I'm guaranteed to be kicked off at least twice, every single time. Then there's the bollocks with the in-game chat not working. There was graphical problems. You know, you were sinking under the map sometimes. You were rubber banding on the servers, and it just didn't play very well. And if anyone thinks it's going to improve, and I personally think you're quite mistaken, because if you think of Battlefield 3 came out on 3 machines, 3 formats, PC, which is always going to be DICE's lead platform because it's easy to, you know, fucking chuck 32 gig of RAM inside an Alienware machine, SLI a couple of graphics cards, and it looks fantastic. You know, it's running at 1080p at 120 frames a second and all this carry on. And we didn't really see much of the PS3 version that I remember before it came out, and now I understand why. In some places, I think Battlefield Bad Company 2 still looks better. That's just my humble opinion there. And then if you think about it this time, you've got, see, we're well outweighing them now. Was there 11 of us against fucking 6 of them? The balancing is not very good. I'll give it that much. Right, sorry about that. I got interrupted by the phone there. Yeah, if you think about this time, PS3, in my opinion, is going to be the 5th platform, because you're going to have EA seem to be making an effort to fuck the PS3 owners off altogether because they're not getting the new Respawn Entertainment game. So you've got PC is going to be number 1. You've got, I suspect Xbox One will be the 2nd on the list through EA's handiwork. You've got PS4. You can imagine if Sony are going to want any system pushing more than another, it's going to be the PS4 over the PS3. Xbox 360. I don't know why that sniper did a good job of doing a bloody getting out of the way there. And it's the fucking MP412 Rexed again. That's twice I got killed by that shitty gun. I just think the PS3 is going to be at the bottom of the pecking order, and you know, I don't remember reading that DICE have doubled the fucking number of staff they've got working there, and yet, you know, it's nearly doubled the amount of platforms they're dealing with, and the PS4 isn't the same technically as it's not just, you know, twice as powerful as a PS3. It's a different architecture, so requires a different way to be programmed, if you will. And alright, they've got experience of doing the PS3 because they've released the Mass Effect games and no, sorry, is it Mass Effect that DICE do? I can't remember. They've certainly done Battlefield 2, Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 3 on the PS3. So they've got some experience of doing it. My hopes aren't high that it's going to be as polished as the other versions. But again, I'll have a look at the beta, and if I pick it up, I will certainly be waiting for it to go down in price. I'd like to think I could did quite well here. These guys were quite persistent up that fucking rooftop there. I'd like to think I could get it second hand, but something tells me that somebody somewhere is going to. I mean, EA have said they're cancelling this online pass thing, but there we go, we've won. They're cancelling this online pass thing, but I can't help but think they're going to scheme up another way of shafting those players out of, you know, basically making you pay virtually full price for a second-hand game. I don't know. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening to me waffle on for 19 minutes. There we go. What did I get? 13 and 9. Pretty good figures for me. I mean, not a massive amount of kills. Ironically, I got the most kills with a fucking landmine, but there you go. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a good weekend. Hopefully there'll be some Grid 2 up over the weekend. I will schedule it and just hope that YouTube plays ball. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy. Catch you later. Bye.